Have you checked out ChevetteReport.com? It's the newest cigar media outlet to keep you in the know with all things cigar lifestyle related. From press releases to reviews, we have it all covered. Be some of our first members to join ChevetteReport.com and be a part of the next step in the cigar culture. ChevetteReport.com. Going on, everybody, on YouTube and Facebook, on the Book Cigar Guy social media pages. Welcome in to Mac Bergson and Gary Zamstra, Jay Bates, Charles Adamson, Michael Zakvik, Bob Ellis, Hunter Otts, John Lovell. Welcome into the show. Dan Burns, right on time. Welcome in. How are you guys doing? How are you guys hanging? What's going on? John Lovell says, hello from Summerville, South Carolina. Well, hello from Greenville, South Carolina. How are you doing this evening? Cal Urba says, what's going on? What's going on? I do want to give a quick shout out to Jamie Vaughn, Rick Carroll, Jay Bates for the love over on Facebook, and Mac Bergson, Charles Adamson, Michael Zakvek. Thanks for the like. And right on time, 21 people. That is now 14 Chief Talks in a row of 20 people or more. We've been hitting 30 plus for the past couple weeks, so we're going to continue to see if you guys happen to pump the numbers up even more. Timothy Winter says, hello from Fort Gregg Adams. Whoa, hello. How's it going over there? Miss Christy Whitmore. Hey, guys, sitting on the patio enjoying the awesome weather. Hopefully it's nice and dry. It's been wet and rainy here, but I'll tell you what, I don't know if you guys can hear or can tell, but I am not full of nasal congestion this week because the rain has washed away all of the pollen. Mac Bergen says, got to raise the bar. 20 is now easy for you guys. Yeah, we gotta continue. We're going. We're pushing. Banker John says, good evening, y'all. Happy Chief Day. Happy Chief Day. Hunter Otts.
Y'all don't do that. Oh, Lord.
What's up with the lighting tonight? Hunter Otts, what's up with the lighting tonight? It's this how we've been running the lighting for like the past 6 weeks.
Chief Talk after dark.
Chief Talk dark.
We hiding from the popo.
Tonight, well, I want to go ahead and get into smoking something because this is going to be the first time this is the first time I get to smoke the cigar. I'm excited about it. Wacky Packy says 20 is the new 30. We're at 25. We're sitting at 25 solid right now. Dan Burns says, is Bob mute? Oh, I bet he hasn't turned his microphone on.
My microphone's on. Look at the light right there. The light is on.
It does say the microphone's on.
It's not my fault.
It does say the microphone's on. Wait, hold on. I bet I know what's going on.
I think he's doing it on purpose.
Yeah, that's what it was. Whoops. There we go. Now your audio should be much better. Christy Whitmore says, who got to watch a solar eclipse on Monday?
I was working.
I got to see the 84% eclipse. Now, in, 2017? We had the total eclipse.
Yeah.
Total eclipse of the heart.
We're singing tonight?
No, we're not. So I have gotten to see the total eclipse. I loved the total eclipse. I thought the total eclipse was it kind of sounds funny to say, but like an outer body experience. To see that halo around the moon, how it looks like that, really, really, really cool.
But you see better pictures of it on Facebook.
But I will say, getting to be able to see it at 80%, even though I didn't get to take my glasses off at any point in time during the eclipse, it was pretty neat to be able to see that again. D. Boyd says, what's up, y'all? Hunter Ott says, Bob looks darker than normal. He's been out in the sun. John Lovell says, no, 60 is the new 40.
Step up. Challenge accepted.
I think he's talking about maybe age.
Tell your friends.
For you're creeping up on 60. Michael Zachfix, Chief is muting BTCG, keeping the man down. Charles Adamson smoking a Tatawahe Veracruz Blue. That's why I want to get into tonight's topic. Tonight's topic is called the PCA Supermarket Sweep. We're going to be talking about if you could have gone to PCA and done a supermarket sweep in 2 minutes, what would you have grabbed? One of the things I probably would have wanted to grab is a handful of these. I say a handful of these because I've not smoked one yet. I'm expecting it to be exceptionally bright. Goodness, I've got this set on like ultimate brightness setting. I do. I have it on
pre-eclipse.
I have it on 100%. This is the new Sin Compromiso Robusto. So I'm really excited to get into this. I'm going to smoke this tonight. PCA launch cigar. Charles Emerson says Chief sounds better. Oh, thank you. Jay Bates says, what's with the amateur hour? Bob Ellis, we were in totality. It was a neat experience. Christy Whitmore said, singing Chief. Sammy Flo, who almost won the Cigar Dojo March Madness tournament, lost it by 10 points.
10 points.
Came in third place because first and second place tied on the points. There was a tiebreaker that broke him up for him. Cal Urba, well, the 40 is the new 20, and that makes me happy. Val Chavez, welcome into the show this evening. Saw about 80% myself here in Virginia. I thought 80% was pretty neat. It wasn't 100% totality like I got to see it a couple years ago. Jay Bates says BTCG can't say no, he can't. Sammy Flo says, hi, Mac Bergson, Hunter smoking a Perdomo 10th anniversary champagne. Mac Bergson says it's not bigger than the halo around BTCG each show. Get a room.
That's my co-host in Vegas.
That's what I should have done. Is I should have just taken Mac's room and he should have come and slept over there with you.
Oh, that would have been a party.
Yeah, you guys would have both been to sleep at 10 o'clock every night. Wacky Packy, hopefully Bob will have his singing section tonight. Probably, hopefully not. J Bates says, is that the new Sin Robusto? Yes, because that's what I said. If you'd open your ears. Did the garage hit you in the ears too? Timothy Winters, Drew Estate ashtray truck I would had to have snagged. Wacky Packy says, Baby Sin, the new Umaga Wagashi. That's what he was going to be snagging. Sammy Flo says, well, what's up, Jay Bates? Zachary Morris says, good evening. Sammy Flo says, been catching the PCA videos. Great job. Thank you. I want to know what you guys have been thinking about the PCA videos. Miss Christy Whitmore and Asim, how have you guys been enjoying those videos, getting to relive the moment since you guys got to go and be a part of the PCA trade show this year? Is it nice to watch back the video? I tell you, for me, it's been nice to go back and watch some of these videos because it kind of transports me back into the moment a little bit. Let's see. Max says I had a suite, so no. Oh wow! So he'd trade you for a room. He would trade you for a room.
How sweet
Dang.
it is.
Charles Adamson says the Sokka video was great. I loved the Sokka video because I got to put in my own little editing flares in there. How'd you guys like those? Got to correct Bob the Cigar Guy from being wrong.
Not true. I was right. I was correct.
And then I also got to put in there. Hopefully Steve Sokka gets time while he's in Nicaragua this week to watch the video. It is 40 minutes long.
But you don't notice it.
That's one of the reasons why I wanted to definitely make sure I caught the premiere so that I could put in the comments, hey, buckle in for 40 minutes. Because all of the videos up until this point this year have been 10 minutes or so. Except for the JT Newman one. I think that was 15 or something. But no, that was a great video. Sokka, per usual, delivered. While I have not uploaded the short, but if you follow Bob the Cigar Guy on either Facebook or Instagram, you've seen the Sokka yawning video.
You should have put a Yeti sound to it or something like that when he was yawning. You could have edited that in.
I could have. Then I have to worry about copyright strikes on that sound as an individual sound. Didn't want to have to worry about that. Let's see. So
could have had him singing like an opera singer.
Let's see. Wacky Pack says too many BTCG groupies on tonight.
It is Chief Talk
every Thursday. One's too many. Sammy Flo, you're a winner in my book. Jay Bates says supermarket sweep at PCA would be Dunbarton, Aventura, and Drew Estate. You gotta think higher, Jay. Think higher. Mike Zakovac, love the videos, a lot more informative than some other media. And I tell you what, that is something I pride myself on with our videos and presenting is we not casting any shade on anybody at all, but our videos do bring more PCA to life than other videos. And there's a part of me that wishes we also caught content like a lot of other people do at PCA, but I like sticking in our lane. I think we do a really good job with getting that out. There's a bunch more coming. I think tonight we said we've got 3 more weeks worth of video to come out. White Pack says the videos are great. It's like going back in time. Keep them coming. Well, you got 3 weeks worth coming still. Max says, I mean, the show attendance has been way up since BTCG became regular. Just saying. I mean, Bob, you've been on for over a year now as a regular guest.
And we've been hitting 20 every time.
No. We slumped in the fall last year, buddy. Wacky Pack says, Sokka vid rocked. Yeah, I cut out a couple times where people jumped in the camera. That was a little frustrating.
That was the only interview where I actually sat back in the chair and relaxed. Which
I hated.
I felt completely comfortable. Yeah, I looked back at the video and I'm like, oh my goodness, that was probably not wise.
I really wish you were wearing a longer shirt.
You had to crop me?
No, it just luckily you were wearing an undershirt.
I always wear an undershirt.
If you weren't wearing an undershirt, we'd have got a bunch of Bob Belly.
I'm glad we didn't.
Well, I would have had to crop you in. That goes back to that whole 50 millimeter lens situation, right? Because I couldn't crop that video in very far without getting like from head to head on you and Sokka. I'd have had to like stick a black bar across the bottom that said like Dunbarton.
A Chiron to run across the bottom.
Sammy Flo says, so my only thing about the video is that I would have let Bob do a new version of brought to you by Drew Estate.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
Shut up.
We missing it.
Sammy
Next
Flo
year, we doing it.
Says, I saw the 40-minute video and loved every minute. Sokka, very entertaining. Yeah,
absolutely.
And that's the thing is I think a lot of these companies expect to go short. I don't think they really understand that, you know what, we'll take longer content. It's fine. Now, I'm glad I only had 2 batteries at this PCA. And thank you to Drew Estate, Eric, especially at Drew Estate, for taking my battery on Saturday and charging it for me while the first battery was dead, and hoping that the second battery would get me through the show. Thank you so much, Eric. The unsung hero of PCA, in my opinion. Even though I didn't have to use it, he was prepared for me.
Oh, Steven was looking. Oh, I got 18%. Oh, I've got 11%. Oh, yeah. I've got.
No, I got down to 14% on the first battery, and I was like, let me go ahead and just change this battery out and run this other battery over to Eric. Yeah, because we're sponsored by Drew Estate, I didn't feel so bad going over to Drew Estate and saying, hey, can you charge this for me? It's like, you guys are paying for the content. So you want content, charge my battery. But also, we have a great relationship with the guys behind the scene at Drew Estate. I knew I was going to be able to go over there. And if they didn't, my boy Jawal, not only personal friend, not only Drew Estate buddy, DLBC brother, I knew he had my back too. So, John Lovell says, Sokka, Drew Estate, West Tampa, Tatawahe. That's what he's going to grab. Wacky Pack Chief brings unbiased cigars news to the masses.
I missed getting to talk with West Tampa. He was actually at our hotel, and so we got to chit-chat and chop it up a little bit. I got to ask him some questions.
What's his name?
Mr. West Tampa.
Nope. His name's Rick Rodriguez. One of the easiest names to remember.
No, Bob, the cigar guy, is the easiest name to remember. And then Chief is not hard to remember either. But we got to talk about, tobacco. We got to talk about life. And it was really interesting hopefully we get to do some more work together because I really enjoyed the vibe he has and the person that he is. So, Camacho.
See you.
See you.
It's a good thing I'm here. See you.
Camacho.
He's responsible for the Amazon basin.
Mm.
Michael Zakvek says Chief representing Aganorsa Leaf tonight. That's right, Team Green. Flex on him, baby. That hurts.
I'm just representing.
I worked at my biceps last night.
Country
that
Earth
kind of hurt. Biceps and triceps.
Oh,
Caller, loved the socket interview. If I went to PCA, it would probably be Arturo Fuente and those Le Petit Knives ST DuPont new releases. See, now somebody's thinking. Because I know what my supermarket sweepstakes.
Well, I bet Leff and Lom still had those $10 million ashtrays. I'd get one of those.
That wasn't Leff and Lom's. That was
El Septimo.
El Septic.
I'd get one of those ashtrays. Actually, I'd grab 3 of those ashtrays. I could buy anything else I wanted.
Says Chief and BTC can need to try Dumbarton Candela one of these days. Well, they're not available yet. They're going to be available in a Lancero format, but I'm not a Candela fan, so I'm really not looking forward to it. Bob, are you smoking on a Pausani Warbear?
No, I was rocking the Undercrown Sungrown.
But you did smoke the Pausani Warbear at the Pausani interview, which I thought was a great interview, by the way. Max says, Feta preparing to fail. That's how you roll tanks. Michael Zakvet says, you know it, Team Green. Sandy Flow 2 men. I'm going for accessories. Jay Bates says, I thought you were just talking about cigars. I said PCA. I said PCA Supermarket Suite. Clean your ears out.
I'd like to give a shout out to Jay Bates. Jay Bates, I love you.
I'm glad
that you are who you are. I am glad that you make my life more valuable.
For everybody who's new.
I know Chief is talking bad about you
and
blasting on you, but, I love you. I love you.
For everybody who's new, I get abused constantly by Mac Bergson and Jay Bates, so they get it back. So John Lewis says, no offense, but El Septimo reminds me of Septic. Yes, that's why I called him El Septic. My boy Supremo Tobacco, what's up, familia? What's up, my bro? So if I'm doing the supermarket suite, now I happen to have a little bit of an inside edge on people who didn't get to the PCA because I knew where everything basically was, right? I remember everything was.
You'd get one of them nice putters and golf balls from the mini putt place.
I would just so
nobody was there. They wouldn't notice them being gone.
But I was actually thinking about it when I was thinking of this idea last night. I was like, you know what? PCA should do. They should contact the companies and be like, all right, we're going to do a raffle every year where people can pay $10 for a raffle ticket. And the companies, look, you guys, you don't want to pack all this stuff and take it all home. You don't want to have to worry about shipping all this stuff. And you don't just want to, throw it away in trash cans or whatever, feel like you have to take it back. Why don't we just set up some tables with all your stuff on it, and we're going to take 10 winners from our raffles, and they'd come through for 2 minutes and just grab what they grab. That's actually not a bad idea. That's a way to make money.
Can I get a snow shovel on TSA?
Buy a snow shovel in Vegas.
Because I just shovel that thing, boy.
There would have to be some sort of etiquette, right? Supreme Tobacco says, Chief and Bob, love y'all. Great to see your beautiful faces.
Aww.
Thanks, brother. Sam Flo says, I'm bringing the box and gloves. Jay and Chief, 2 minutes in the ring. Ding, ding. I'd love that. Jay Bates, come on, buddy. Let's do it.
I don't know. Jay Bates he seems he's older and wiry. I think he's not going to play.
I would even give Mac the benefit of the doubt and let him go without gloves, just to entice him into the ring even more.
I think Jay would punch you in the ding ding first.
Max says Chief's abuse of his viewers is unparalleled. 2 of them at least. Charles Adamson says, hey, Brian, you at home enjoying this weather? Then he says, why is it so stinking hot already? Jay Bates says, the Putt BTCG isn't going to let this go. Max says, Brian, one of my favorite DLBCers. Yeah, Brian is one of my favorites as well. Carl says, I went cheap tonight smoking a Rico Barroto from Tim at Cigars Daily.
Not a bad cigar.
Just so y'all are aware, Mac is as handsome in person as he looks online. Dude is Rico
Suave.
Sewer?
Suave. Rico
Sewer.
Suave.
That's a W.
Suave.
J. says the garage door couldn't take me out. Dashed you could.
He springs back.
Funny. Springs back. Anyways, so if I had the chance to go in, I don't know if 2 minutes is on. I don't think you could get.
You can't run that fast.
I mean, if I had to. Fortunately, Foundation,
to get what you want, you couldn't run that fast.
Yeah, no, because I would have taken.
They're all over the place.
Left. I would have taken an immediate left to Foundation.
Right.
I would have gone straight back past LFL, grabbing LFL to Roma Craft. Grabbing
You would go to Romacraft?
Heck yeah, I would.
You passed my father's. You passed.
No, I haven't. That's middle of the show. I've gone all the way left.
All right.
Right? So I've gone all the way left. I've shot over behind Oliva at Left End Lawns, run back to Romacraft in Paustani. And then I probably only have about 30 seconds at that point. Maybe. So I've got to choose. Do I go to Drew Estate, who is a huge channel sponsor I already have a bunch of stuff from? Do I come all the way up to Dumbarton Tobacco and Trust, who I have a good amount of because of channel sponsorship? Or do I risk my 30 seconds going all the way over to ST DuPont, which wouldn't give me much time?
No.
Do I go all the way to Aganorsa, which would probably leave me like 5 seconds as soon as I reach the Aganorsa?
Yeah, but Fabian don't want to talk to you and you mess up your time.
I could get to Calibri.
Calibri's
Now,
good.
if I wanted to really hit Zycar, I could hit Zycar on the way to Left and Lams.
You'd have to zig and
But
zag.
honestly, I've already gotten lighter cutters at Left and Lams. I'm grabbing some Le Tags. I'm grabbing some Le Petites. I'm grabbing some bracelets. I'm really just going to stick my
bracelets
hand down
don't
that
fit your
glass
wrist.
case.
Why would you want bracelets? The bracelet doesn't fit.
They have bigger bracelets.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I could make my way over to JC Newman, where Arturo Fuente is. Get some Angel Cuestas, get some Opus X, get some Iron
Would you
Sharps.
not get the Fuente Patron box?
I mean, if I'm going for an expensive box, you got to go with Monte Cristo, right? They got that new $180 cigar or whatever.
Bro, I'm going to get the 3 $10 million ashtrays, and I can buy anything else I want.
I don't think those were there at the show this year. Carl says, put a dog behind them.
Or the ST DuPont and get all of their
Look, I've been working out
exclusives.
since January 10th. My stamina is much better now than it has ever been since probably my college days. So I'm in much better shape now than I've been. So don't, just because your boy's a big boy, like, don't count me out. Like,
So you wouldn't go to Drunk
your boy's
Chicken?
lost 36 pounds since January 11th.
You wouldn't go to Drunk Chicken?
Nope.
You wouldn't go to Adventura?
I know Aventura, I could see, but their booth is so small, and you got to get through those ropes.
You wouldn't go to El Pulpo? Artesano del Tobacco?
See, I thought about El Pulpo, but I'm also trying to think of like some of the humidor companies too.
There was some nice humidor companies. But how are you going to carry that across the finish line?
Bro, all I got to do is just carry the price tag, and I'm going to check out with it at the end for free. And then say, all right, y'all go wrap this up for me. Because if we're talking about you got to carry it with you, I'm not making it past foundation. I'm going to grab every foundation box they've got and walk back to the front and be like, all right, that's it.
I'm going to take my shirt off and tie the sleeves.
Max says, you forgot to pick up crowns. I don't need to pick up crowns because I have a friend who's so faithful to send them to me. Roddy Townsend says, I'm late, but I made it. Watching at work, nothing like getting paid to watch Chief Talk. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Hope you're making some double time. Brian says, Justin done stole them all. Talking about the crowns.
Now, would you run to any of the media there and steal their cameras? You said PCA.
The PCA shooters were all shooting Canon, though.
I mean, you could go over to the Drew Estate table
now,
and just claim that whole table.
That's true, because Drew Estate was shooting with 3 A7 threes. Now, it's not an A7 IV, but they did have some nice lenses on there, and they were Gs and G Masters and lights. That's a good point. I didn't think about that.
Or would you get the blackened truck, the actual truck?
Yeah, run straight to Drew Estate, get the blackened truck, drop the tailgate, drive real fast, go everywhere, throw it in the back. Now you're thinking. That's a great. That's what we're doing. Going and getting the blackened truck. Was there a dump truck anywhere in there? Was there anything bigger than the blackened truck? Because that's actually a great idea. If it had the keys in it and had enough fuel, because I imagine,
spin out and dump all the barrels off the back.
Yeah, you gotta unhook the back latch, and you just gotta go and hope.
Let her eat.
I mean, it's supermarket sweepstakes, so there's nobody in there. right? Other than just the people who are, watching, making sure you're doing everything in the right fashion and whatnot. So yeah, heck yeah, I'm running to the Drew Estate booth and getting that blackened truck and huffing and puffing.
Is there any booths you would purposely clip as you're going down, just to smash through some booths?
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna say it online. Jay Bates says the new Liffin Lums bracelets are adjustable, correct, Chief? Yes, but they're not as good as the old ones, or so I've been told. Mac Bergen says, "Ain't no one paying $10 million on this ashtray." Apparently, according to the Republic of Debauchery, some dudes in Saudi Arabia bought them like as soon as they were marketed.
Those things were butt ugly.
Scream Tobacco says, "Chief's been killing it in the gym. Thanks, appreciate that, Habibi." Carl says, "I am not counting you out. I'm a big boy too. Put a dog behind me. I'll run like Forrest Gump and never stop." That's right. We are giving our cats catnip. Oh my! Oh Lord! Watch out!
Wow.
Max says, "Someone remind Justin he needs to email me." Charles Edmondson says, "Resisting that BTCG shirt won't hold it, Joe." Brian Supreme Tobacco says the old bracelets are better than the new bracelets. Shout out my boy Brian. Max says, "I got a couple boosts to clip for sure." So I guess in my extra abridged, now I'm adding stuff, I'm gonna take somebody who I can trust to run faster than me to get to the blackened truck and then just pick me up at a booth, an agreed upon booth. So they can just go ahead. I can be making my way and getting my hands full ready, and then they drive over. I've gone ahead and dumped all the stuff out. Yeah. Oh, heck yeah. Because in between Romacraft and Drew Estate was Ellie Blue and ST DuPont. So we grabbing some lighters. We grabbing some lighters for sure.
Throw the big throne in the back of the truck.
No, there's no way you're moving that thing. That thing had to be a couple 100 pounds. And that was a sturdy chair. Like
Child's play a couple 100 pounds.
People, okay, but not that size. Whatever.
Tie a rope on it, drag it.
Ronnie's getting that DTT guillotine cutter.
Boom.
Did you notice when you said, speaking of the big gorilla in the room, did you see how the big golden socket squatch came through the middle of the video?
I thought that was fun.
Which reminds me, today is the 11th. I've got to cancel my free trial on that software before I get paid. Charged $34 a month for it. I was like, that'd be kind of funny to put that on. And then I was like, I've got this software with another couple days of free trial. Let me just go ahead and try this out and see how it looks. And I was like, you know what? That was actually kind of funny. The gorilla in the room. You got the big Sasquatch. It wasn't in full focus, but it did its thing.
It did its thing. It was shiny gold.
Now, what cigar are you smoking over there?
I am just working now on I got this from PCA, the Don Pepin Garcia Cuban Classic.
Oh. Nice. The Don Pepin Garcia. My father.
Yep.
You know what? I was actually talking with Law about this because he did an interview with Pete Hassel Johnson from Tatawahe. You know,
watched it today.
You know,
You were in it.
He's married to the daughter of my father. And so he's
married to Caitlin?
No.
You said your father's daughter.
My father's cigars capitalized. Anyways, before I go down any rabbit holes. I found a new respect for not only my father's cigars, but also for Tatawahe cigars. And I told Law that it makes me want to try to reach out to my father next year and see if they want to do an interview.
We're doing an interview with my father.
Sorry, Tatawahe.
I thought the same.
We did our interview last year with my father. We did an interview again this year.
They did that PCA exclusive.
The hand rolled.
Yeah, the hand rolled series. It was really interesting to hear his story. And then him hanging out with Law. I don't know if our editing software can catch the language good enough, but I think it'd be a great interview.
Timothy Winter says, what about the knife cigar cutter? Are you talking about the Liffin Lams Le Petite? Yeah, no, that was the second booth I was running to. Was grabbing some of the Le Petit knife cutters. Mike Zakvex enjoying the Placencia 149. Yeah, so the Leffenlams Le Petit, that's definitely one of the ones I'm
I
grabbing.
think sharp.
This is the Leffenlams Le Tag. This is the wearable cigar cutter by Leffenlams, OD Green. So they make great stuff, sharp cutters. Our interview with them was great. Dropped a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Even an article on Chevetta Report. I have not yet gotten the Dumbarton Tobacco and Trust article out. I wanted to get that out today, but my whatever reason, we have a router modem all-in-one joint thing, and it's doing this weird thing where it has internet and then it doesn't have internet. It has internet and doesn't have internet. And so it's been like one of the reasons why yesterday's video took so long to upload was one, because it was 5.5 gigs of memory. It was 40 minutes long, but my internet's been freaking out. So I've been fighting that all day today. Didn't get the article out yesterday. Didn't get the article out today. So hopefully it'll be a 2-article day tomorrow.
So you've already typed up the articles already?
No.
So why do you have to do that? Because you don't have to worry about typing up articles on the internet. You just have to post them.
Because I was working on other things, trying to get the internet to work, so I didn't have time to work on the article.
You can go to McDonald's and sit in McDonald's.
I have not seen Law's interview that dropped today. The Cuban expert. Dan Burns says, knife cutter, big eyes. Now that's another knife cutter that's really cool.
You can't beat that knife cutter.
The old William Henry, made by Dan Burns himself.
I think I got mine right here.
But yeah, if you go to the link in the description tonight, it takes you straight over to our website. And I think it wasn't the last interview we did; it was 2 interviews ago. But on the Chevetta Report website, it keeps up like the top or the most 10 recent articles. You can go there and you can see the shots of the new Le Feu, the lighter that they debuted at PCA this year. Also the Le Petit, the Le Tag, and the bracelets. That's the William Henry cigar cutter knife. A little different.
It's really cool too because only one side is beveled. So when you put your cigar in there, it doesn't crush your cigar. It actually cuts it nice and smooth. Fantastic craftsmanship on this thing. Triple blade, triple steel Damascus on that blade. Different. If you get different ones, they come with a different type of Damascus. They're all different Damascuses. This is an ironwood. I think it's from Arizona, if I'm not mistaken, and it's titanium frame, and it's got all sorts of little embellishments of jewels. It is nice. It is fancy, and it is something your children will fight over when you die. That's a fact.
Yeah. Mike Zagvet says that's a beaut, Clark.
It's amazing. It stays real close to my desk.
Dana Burns says, Bob, you scared me. He's ugly in real life, too. Don't worry.
And them bracelets?
Oh, the
them
bracelets.
Ones? Them bracelets.
Yeah. Those are nice. Everything William Henry puts out is nice, but it's men's jewelry, high upper echelon men's jewelry.
Absolutely.
It's beautiful stuff.
Absolutely.
I did see that Room 101, Matt Booth, he makes jewelry.
He quit making it for a while.
He's still making it, but they had a big fire sale, 50% off on a ton of stuff today.
Wow.
There was some nice stuff, but I don't have the money to tell my wife that I want to buy that stuff when I'm trying to buy other things
right
at the same time.
Smoky quartz gemstones. That's what they are. They have some that's got.
Diana says, "No, I thought it was going to cut his hand."
That's got what's them big elephants? Massive woolly mammoth tooth, and it's got dinosaur fossils, and I think it's got some stuff from meteorites. I mean, this stuff is freaking amazing. I highly recommend you go check out I think it's WilliamHenry.com and just dream, because that stuff is just fantastic.
How you're liking your Don Pepin Garcia?
It's a little bit on the spicy side.
I figured it would be with that bold black band.
A little bit on the spicy side.
The
It's not
have
Cuban.
you
feeling.
yet had one of these Robusto Sin Compromisos?
No. How is it?
Not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad. Now
You're an Elefante guy.
I am talking a lot. So let me take it back. This cigar is very smooth. And I think that's why I'm saying not bad, is because I was not expecting it to be as smooth. I was expecting a little bit more grit.
Mm.
Well, the grit's not what I'm looking for.
Aggression.
Yeah, I guess so.
Depth.
Because grit, no, because it's deep. There's a great tobacco flavor. Early on, you got a lot of that cedar.
Spicy minerality. Turned to earth.
No.
Now I do know that I think I knocked Steve Saka back on his heels in that video when I said I'd smoke a Sin Compromiso and a Portageon. And after he had just said, when you smoke a Sin Compromiso, you need to be in a still room.
I will say, he opened my eyes to a new style of the cigar smoking experience. When I think of a cigar smoking experience, I don't ever take into account or factor the aroma the cigar is putting off, the environment that I'm in.
It makes a difference.
It makes a difference, but there have been very few times where I have sat down and said, all right, this is the moment that I want to smoke this certain particular cigar. And while Steve Saka is a huge fan of saying, smoke your stuff, don't just let it sit and clog up humidors and wait for that perfect moment, because if you die, somebody else is going to smoke your cigars, right? He famously said last year, I'm going to keep all these cigars so that the next guy who is banging my wife and smoking my cigars too. Yeah, I think that's maybe a little extra added in there.
No, that's about right. That was last year's wisdom.
It's like, maybe that is an aspect. Maybe because I am fortunate enough to get a hold of a lot of cigars that I normally probably wouldn't be able to. Maybe I do need to sit back and take, a little bit more of a pause with some certain cigars, smoke those cigars, but make those cigars in the moment, smoking those cigars worth that time. Because while I would never smoke a cigar in a Portageon to begin with, I understand what you were saying. Obviously, you're not going to go light up a cigar to go sit in a Portageon and have that experience. What you were saying was that cigar was so good that
smoke it wherever.
You would smoke it wherever because it is just so good. But there is something, he is right. Sometimes you don't grab that Sin Compromiso or that Year of the Ox, or
when you're in a lawnmower.
Right. You don't grab those cigars when you aren't going to pay full attention to that cigar or the experience around it.
Fair enough. Dan Burns, I forgot how big my wrist is. Watch my wrist be like 9 1/4 or something like that.
Cal says Steve is right. Smoke while you can. No, absolutely, and I've always agreed with that. Like, I think there's something awesome about having a cigar collection, and if you're able to buy boxes, right? I think it's awesome if you can buy boxes, especially if boxes of stuff that you really like. Like, I went into a cigar lounge just last Saturday. I drove across town to go see if they had some cigars from PCA. They did not, so I was upset about that. But I did grab some cigars that I crave all the time that I don't get a lot, or actually I don't ever get them unless I buy them myself, or somebody gifts them to me as like a birthday gift or whatever. And there was this temptation of like, just buy a box because you love these cigars so much. But then it's like, man, I'll buy a box. I'm going to smoke through that box so quick. I got a box as a gift last year of the Robusto Olmec Claros, and I have one of them left, and the first 9 went within the first month because I love that cigar so much. If I had the ability to stock that cigar every month, I'd buy a box every single month. So I think it's worth, having some cigars that you do keep around for special occasions. But I also believe, smoke your stuff.
Today's a special day. Every day's a special day. So, Dan, I just want to jump on it. I know you have a suggestion box at work, and I know that they listen to you effervescently. Could they not make a half-inch, 1-inch extender that you could actually put on that bracelet for guys with bigger wrists that would wanting to get in that market to get
No, buy
a
2
bracelet
bracelets
like that?
and then put them together yourself.
Yeah, but then it would fall off.
No. Take the links out of the other bracelet and just make that a link replacement bracelet. Not link both bracelets together.
So you're talking about cutting up a darn? No,
Yeah. Come
no,
on, you got it.
no. No, that's like saying I'm just gonna slice through the Mona Lisa here and just have a close up of her face. No, high level quality.
But no, I was going through my cigars yesterday. I have quite a cigar collection at the house, unfortunately. And I say unfortunately because they're everywhere.
I was about to say, unfortunately,
They're everywhere. I've got them in bags. I've got them in Tupperware containers. I've got them. I have one desktop humidor and then a bunch of Tupperware containers and then a basket of bags of cigars. And there are some cigars in there that I'm never going to smoke. I know I'm never going to smoke them. Just have no desire to ever smoke them. I probably shouldn't feel that way, but I do. There are some cigars of companies that I just have no interest in trying. And it sucks for that company because you know what? Those cigars actually might be some of the best cigars I've ever smoked in my life. I just have no desire to go smoke those companies. Cigars that have been gifted, cigars that we got sent years ago, early in the channel, cigars that you've given me, cigars we got from Cigar of the Month clubs that I just don't care for. And so I've been shuffling around some stuff, and I've been shuffling through my PCA sticks. And I'll tell you what, it is getting difficult to not smoke those Wise Man from Foundation Cigars.
See, I've got to take pictures of mine, and because we're doing so much PCA content, I pretty much only do Sundays. Which this Sunday, I'm going to tell you, I looked at that video, and the content was a very, very solid content. But as far as storytelling goes, I think this was the best video I've ever done, where it got the point across to where you could really, where there was no distraction because I'd either and haw and mess something up. It was a very meaningful video for me, and I think that carried through in the video. So I know this is not Bob the Cigar Guy talk. This is Chief talk, so I'm not gonna.
Denver says, feel like it's been a long time since I've had a My Father cigar. I had a My Father just a little while ago. Actually, Stokey's sister did a review on the same cigar the next day. Hers, she didn't like it as much because it was super black peppery on the front. But I enjoyed it, and then I can't remember the name of it right now. Matt Scase says, I did a cigar purge and donated all the good ones to Cigars for Warriors. Nice.
We've done that.
And that's what we've done in the past. Usually what I'll do is I'll actually take a bunch of cigars that I've got that I've gotten from, Cigar of the Month clubs or, gifts or for reviews or whatever I just didn't enjoy. We get a handful of them or whatnot. And usually put them in a bag, give them to Dad, and he takes them to work and gives them to
I give them out to people at work. And like if we get together, if we do an event where we're hanging out at a lounge and we let everybody know we're going to a lounge, I usually have a trunk load of cigars. Well, not trunk load. I have a good handful.
Don't want to skip over Whiskey Tube. What's going on?
And I'll hand them up. I'll hand them out after, I won't hand them out in the lounge because that would be rude. But after we're done smoking, we go out in the parking lot and, little packs of this and that.
But I was excited to get into this Sin Robusto, which, let me complete my sentence. It is a good cigar. It's a really good cigar. It's definitely a Sin Robusto, though. It is a different Sin Compromiso.
They all are, aren't they?
The 6 is my favorite. Gran Elefante is another really good one for me.
See, I don't like the Elefante.
This one is like that's like an early morning Sin for me.
Mm.
Most Sin Compromisos, I would always say Sin Compromiso later in the day. Later in the afternoon, later in the day. This is a breakfast Sin for me. It says HR at BMW is now wondering why applications just tripled.
Jefferson's Bourbon. I have Jefferson's Ocean. I was in Gainesville last week, and I saw the Jefferson's Caribbean, and I almost pulled trigger on it, but I think they marked the price up a lot more than they should have, and so I just let it sit there. But I've been wanting to get a hold of that Caribbean cask as well.
It's only 9:00. So for Mr. Cal, I'll pour myself a little bit of Buffalo Trace here. My favorite. Normal bourbon. Obviously, my favorite is actually Eagle Rare, which is Buffalo Trace older. But for everybody, cheers this evening.
Look at you with the nose glass.
A little Glencairn action. Let's see. Diana says, I finally got to smoke with the hubby and smoked my plush about 2
Love
weeks
that
ago.
plush.
Nice. Number 7 is my favorite, sure. Is that one milder? Breakfast? It's just more smooth. It's not. I wouldn't say mild. I think mild implies less flavor. This has great flavor. And now that I've got some Buffalo Trace, I'm going to see how much that changes the experience. I will say, last year with Saka, we got some of the Noah's Mill, and this year we got nothing. But the whole entire interview, he's got an unopened, still plastic capped bottle of whiskey right behind you. I don't know if he told you, hey, let's break into this or anything like that.
No, he didn't.
But I'm looking at it like, man, I wish we would have got some of that Noah's Mill again this year.
You know, Diana, she got my head thinking, do you smoke infused cigars more in the winter or more in the summer, or it doesn't matter? Because I think I'm finding myself, now that I'm thinking about it, that usually summertime when it's warmer is when I smoke more infused cigars.
I don't smoke a lot of infused cigars anymore. Not that I don't like infused cigars. I love infused cigars. I love the plush. I love the KFC sweets, which that's really not. I guess it's infused. The Pappy Van Winkle technically infused. Acid line. We'll go acid line or deadwood line. I don't smoke a lot of the acid or the deadwood line anymore just because I do prefer traditional tobacco taste.
You think you've aged out or you've matured out of it?
No. Because I think acids and the winter edition nubs, the deadwood lines, Javas,
Macanudo.
all of those infused flavored cigars, I think they have their place. And I think...
No, I'm talking about for you personally, not as a...
No, for me personally, well, that's what I'm getting to. I think I end up smoking those more when I am out and about doing stuff. I like to smoke those when I'm in a lounge because people say, "Ooh, what's that smell?"
Yeah, right.
And it really, for me, it's almost like a game because
who's going to say what's the smell first?
Well, somebody's going to say, "Ooh, man, that smells great," and then they look and see it's a plush, and they're like, "Oh, you're smoking on acid." Like,
Rookie.
oh,
you're not a real cigar smoker.
It smelled good for you, but now because you saw it's a plush, you don't want to smoke it.
You're a fake cigar smoker. Next, you're going to smoke Crowns.
Brian and Dan both said cheers. Carl says, nice polished off a bottle tonight. Bowman's Brothers is on deck for this weekend.
I picked up a bottle of Hoot and Young and a bottle of Travelers last weekend. I'm looking to crack into that sometime soon.
Cal says, do you smoke tobacco? Absolutely.
Lots of them.
I usually find myself smoking tobacco at Barn Smokers just because we've got the availability. But I will definitely, the only time I ever smoke tobacco is in the morning.
That's usually my last night cigar just because when I go in the house, I don't smell as much like cigars for the First Lady. I smell more like coffee.
That's another thing is like if you're going to go somewhere where you know you're going to be reeking of something, reek of a plush, reek of a Java, reek of a tobacco or a leather. Yeah, right. Stogie Sister says, hello, all. Hello, Stogie Sister. It's your Stogie Sister. See, the weather's getting better over there. Nice and sunny. Spring Tobacco says, tobacco is a good smoke. Crowd says, I like a tobacco. Charles Adams says, had to pour little barrel private release blend DAXI. Sounds fancy, but I got it at Costco.
Nothing wrong with Costco.
Nothing wrong with Kirkland brand, baby.
Costco's got Jefferson's Ocean.
Costco's got Buffalo Trace.
And it's got Louis XIII.
Yeah.
For $3,000.
I saw a TikTok the other day of a guy who was freaking out that his Costco had a humidor.
Oh my gosh. I was about to talk about it. They got a humidor about the size of ours, and it is mainly samplers and budget bundles. And it's
Macanudos, CAOs.
It's 3 or 4 manufacturers. And I got to tell you, number one, they are crazy overpriced. And number two, so many of those cigars are just ratchet.
My thing is I think there are a good amount of cigar, at least the video that this guy was posting about. There were probably, I don't know, 6 or 7 brands in this humidor that was a little bit bigger, maybe a third bigger than what we've got. So add on an extra door, right? Sorry, I'm watching the number so much because we were just at 29, now we're at 28. But I know that humidor. And I know that humidor sucks at humidification if we don't keep an eye on it. And I'm not convinced that the people who are working at Costco are really caring about the cigars that are at Costco.
Well, 2 years Christmas, they had, you know how they have pallets and then they just stack things on pallets? They had Christmas samplers of little Mazzos, little round wheels of cigars, and they were unhumidified. They were just wrapped up in the cellophane and then the plastic around it.
Yeah, they had a bunch of Havana Qs.
They were sitting there just out, right?
So they had some J.C. Newman stuff in there.
A lot of Rockies.
There was a lot of Rocky. There was Gurkha, a lot of Gurkha. Diana Burns says, Oregon Costco doesn't carry liquor. It's annoying, but it's okay. We have a nice liquor store in town. I do want to come over here and give a big thanks to Sammy Flo and Bob Ellis for hitting the love button on Facebook, and Ron Maggio for hitting the like button on Facebook, and for everybody who's liked it over on YouTube. Thank you so much. If you have not yet, smash the like button. Last week after Chief Talk was over, we had like 40 some odd likes or something like that. It was a lot of likes on the old Chief Talk YouTube. But no, I commented on it. I was like, dude, don't buy cigars from Costco. Just find a brick and mortar. Go somewhere where I don't care about the selection that was in there. While there wasn't much in that Costco humidor that I probably would have grabbed to smoke myself if somebody said, hey, go grab a cigar and just smoke whatever you want to smoke. Even if there were a bunch of Drew or a bunch of Saka or Foundation or
you worried about condition.
Whatever, I would worry, are these cigars going to smoke? I think they would smoke because I think they'd be too dry, which I'd rather have dry cigars than wet cigars.
Well, a number of average Costco shoppers probably aren't cigar smokers. I mean, there's a lot of cigar smokers at Costco, but in the grand spectrum,
cigar smokers aren't going to Costco to buy cigars.
Right. I think a lot of wives would pick them up for their husbands or guys be like, hey, we got a golf trip.
It's a bunch of guys who are going in there who are buying their meats and stuff and they're like, oh, I'm going golf. Because let's face it, right? Costco, it's a membership thing. You got to pay every year to go. You can't everybody just get in. So it's a little exclusive. So you got more people who've got more money who are in there. They're like, oh, I got my golfing trip coming up. Let me go ahead and grab that 5-pack of cigars right there. Let me show my buddies, oh, look at me. I got my box of cigars.
And, a lot of businesses, Costco is meant for business. So if you have a small little shop, little gas station, whatever, you can kind of circumvent going through whatever you have to go through.
You know how much money you'd be wasting if you were running a gas station humidor and you were buying your cigars through Costco instead of Myers and Dutch or
Sandela
or actual cigar companies in general.
Yeah, but if you're just doing it every once in a while and you're like, look, I'm getting these and I can double my money, that's just one added extra thing. Just one added extra sale.
I think they're grabbing the people who go in for Father's Day who say, all right, let's go into Costco for Father's Day. And this video was posted just last week. What's this weekend?
And they put it right next to the wine. What is this weekend?
The Masters.
Oh.
Right.
Well, it's been
so when you're not watching the Masters on TV, how many people on Sunday are going to be wearing red to church? For you who don't golf or pay attention to sports at all, Tiger wears red on Sundays. So it's just camping trips and such. Yeah, you're just grabbing. You're really grabbing just the people that you're not grabbing the cigar smokers in Costco. Yeah, you've got cigar smokers in Costco, but cigar smokers who are in Costco aren't going for cigars; they're going for meat, right?
And it's right next to the wine. That's where they put the humidor.
So it's kind of like, oh, we've got this extra space. How can we make some money out of this case?
And did you know that Costco is the number one seller of wine in the world?
Wouldn't surprise me.
I never would have guessed, to be honest.
Cheap wine.
No, that wine's not cheap. They got wine.
Man, they got barefoot. They got kangaroo.
Bruh, they got wine. They got
13 felonies, all that crap.
They got what is
I
that?
mean, sure, they might have some wine, yes. But again, it's like if your Ford dealership has a Mach 1, right? Oh, your Ford dealership has a Mach 1, it's just going to sit there because everybody's coming and buying Fiestas and Focuses.
No, people buy that expensive wine. They do. They buy a lot of it. A lot.
Yeah, but I bet they don't sell more expensive wine than anybody else. I bet they just sell more wine per gallon or per liter or whatever. Per cup.
I don't know.
Per cup.
Per
Get
ounce.
It? Get it? Per cup.
Per cup.
Speaking of ounce. Drops. I do love some Buffalo Trace. I tell you what, it does go great with this San Compromiso Robusto. Even though I took the band off and the wrapper did pop on me a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's all right. I'm not worried about it. Not hurting my feelings at all. I'm not going to go on Facebook and cry about it. Charles Adams says, brick and mortar here in Cali are way overpriced. I occasionally buy one if I'm out, but get most of mine online or from friends in Florida.
Max said he loves Costco, but he remembers when we got our cigars into Costco and they just sat there. It's like they don't want to sell them. There wasn't any because it's locked. You can't just grab a bundle.
Yeah.
You have to unlock it.
Plus, you don't have a tobacconist sitting there trying to convince people to come and buy. Like, imagine if there was a sample guy.
Yeah, sample. I was thinking the same thing. A sample person. I'd do that job.
That would be cool.
I'd do that job.
But I would have to, if I was going to do that, I'd have to make sure like I had a seating area, right? Have some jazz playing. Give me a little corner area over there. It's like, why is the Costco so smoky? We got an event with Chief going on.
Giving out cigars.
J-Bait says, how much is the Buffalo down there, Chief? At Costco, it's like $22 a thing for it.
$7.50, yeah.
Costco don't have that. What is that?
Domaine de la Romane.
That must be a wine. I ain't a wine drinker. I'm a cheese eater. Stream Tobacco says you have the California taxes. Killer. Oh, that's one of the things Brian, Mike, and I, we've been texting. We text all the time, but once they heard about me complaining about all the gas prices in Las Vegas, they were like, these gas prices are great. Sure. I was like, no, they're not. So I sent them a picture of gas at like $2.95 a gallon last week or whatever it was. And they were like, what? They sent me pictures of like $5.60.
So everybody got bicycles over there.
Jay says, man, I need to take a good road trip to South Carolina. I just need to move down here.
Hey, y'all were supposed to take a road trip in December to come down and celebrate Jeremy's birthday.
His
never showed.
His daughter was just in Charlotte yesterday. It was a layover in the airport, but he sent me a picture. He was like, my daughter's closer to you than she is to me. She's a cheerleader for Michigan. Dan Burns says gas in Oregon is $4.30. And you guys now have to pump your own gas. You know, they used to not have to pump their gas in Oregon like just a couple years ago.
Some places you're not allowed to pump your own gas.
Now that was Oregon. Now
I think Jersey's one of them.
I've never not pumped my gas.
Me neither.
Like as my own driver, like I wouldn't even let my wife get out and pump gas.
Absolutely not. If a guy's sitting in the car on the phone and his girl's out there pumping gas, I've judged that fella, flat out. I don't care if she said I'll pump it. Don't worry about it. Nope.
Charles Adams says, yeah, gas is $5. We got Buffalo Trace for 18. Yeah, you won't let the woman pump the gas, but you definitely won't drive.
She likes to
You're
drive.
A passenger princess.
She likes to drive. She likes to drive.
What if she likes to pump the gas?
She don't get to pump the gas. No. She likes
That's
to
why
drive.
It works out for us on trips with me driving is because he doesn't like to drive. He don't drive.
I drive.
You only drive when you're the only person in the vehicle.
I don't not like driving. Your mom likes driving.
Cal says, man needs to pump some gas. I mean, I pump the gas for my wife because my wife sits in the car with kids. But I also I'm driving the car. I'm on the side of the gas pump. Why not pump? I mean, if my wife wants to get out and pump, she tells me, no, I just want to go pump the gas. No. Go ahead, girl. You do your thing.
Nope.
You do your thing.
Nope.
Equal rights, equal fights.
Nope.
Matt Scaife, around from the dinosaur age, says I actually worked as a gas station attendant and pumped gas. Woo, boy. So you used to have the little things across the gas pumps that you ran over. Ding, 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 ding.
And check the oil and
Let you know.
and clean the windshield. And
Jay Bates says gas is $3.80 here in Michigan. Dang, son. Carl says nope, nope, nope. Or Cal, sorry. Says nope, nope, nope. Dan Burns says I've always pumped my gas when I'm on my bike. Yeah, no, I've never had anybody pump me my own gas before that I can think of, other than when I used to be a kid. But while I'm in my own vehicle, or I mean, like I've been riding with a buddy. Like I've ridden around with Jamie before, and if Jamie stopped and got gas, like I might get out and just talk to him on the side of the gas pump. But my wife wants to pump gas, man. Go ahead, girl.
Nope.
Yeah, thing.
Nope.
Usually I just get out and pump. Like that's our dichotomy of our relationship is I get out and pump. She sits in the car with the kids.
Nope. Me and your mom have fought about it a couple times.
Max says I let Rebecca drive because she drives much faster and we are always late.
Sometimes we'll fill up both cars at the same time. She'll back up to the pump, and I'll pull into the pump. I will pump both cars.
Bob Ellis said my grandparents owned a full-service gas station for 30 years. I pumped a lot of gas growing up. Forgot the G there for a second.
The word gas was not even in there. You just added the whole thing.
Whoops. Got one of those stations out in Las Vegas. Starts with a B and ends with a raffle.
The peppermint hippopotamus. The peppermint hippopotamus for an adult no gentleman in there, nightclub.
First, I'm talking about the brothels that are
first was a peppermint rhino, and I was like, that's still kind of odd. But then we saw the peppermint hippopotamus on. I'm like, at the big girl dancing saloon. Dan Burns says the gentleman pumps the gas for the ladies. That's right. This generation, I swear to God.
Do you open the door for mom every time you get out of the car? No.
Often.
No, you don't.
Often. Open the door for her when she gets in most times. Because I like to look at her butt. I do.
Lying like a dog.
Ask her.
Up with fleas.
You want me to get her to come out here?
No. Charles Adams says my wife's been pumping her own gas since before I met her 48 years ago.
I'll call her. I'll have her come out here.
Yeah, whatever. She's not going to get out here and she's just going to lie for you.
You know your mama. She ain't going to lie for me.
Whatever. I know my mom. We had analog pumps, little pieces of metal flipped over to tell the price.
Oh, and it would spin in the beginning, brrr, and it would tick, 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 and it
like
locked
the old
zeros.
gas ones where you would choose how much gas you put in your vehicle so it would fill up with the amount of
gas. No,
gas.
that's a little old. That's a little older.
You were around during that
No,
time.
I wasn't.
Whatever.
No.
That was still black and white
visible
TV.
pumps, no.
That was still black and white TV.
No.
You went to movies that didn't have anything but a guy playing the piano?
No talk. You talking no talkie movies? No.
Yeah, you had to listen to movies on the radio.
But I did watch the real Star Wars in the movie theaters. You know, Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi.
Star Wars.
Everything else is Star Wars adjacent. There is no other Star Wars but those three.
Yeah, tell George Lucas that.
Period.
Tell George Lucas that.
Period. Star Wars adjacent.
Cal says we hate to see you go, but love to see them leave. Dan Burns, it's not that they can't do it, but it's to show respect, love, safety, and we are the most important thing. Or we are the most important thing to the gentleman. I don't disagree. I don't disagree. My wife doesn't pump gas when I drive. My wife pumps gas when she drives by herself, though. And I don't text her. Okay, and usually my wife doesn't pump gas because I get in the vehicle with her and there's 7 miles to empty, and I'm like, all right, here we go again. Texted the first lady and told her to go out there and defend BTCG. Please don't do that, man. Can you lock that door real quick? This cigar definitely amps up a little bit. Now I've got a sin. Now I've got that full-on Sin Compromiso experience. Kind of like Papa Van Winkle amps up at the once it transitions to that Tapa Negro. This has definitely gotten to that. Now there's a Sin Compromiso. So I'm going to stick by my word and say this is a breakfast sin. This is the start of your day Sin Compromiso, in my opinion. Matt Skate says, finally watched Rogue One tonight. Woo! How'd you like it? I hope you loved it. I love Rogue One. BTCG, you need to watch the Star Wars cartoons, Clone Wars, Rebels, and Bad Batch. You should. I've got to watch them myself.
Bro, I got to work and do lots of cigar reviews. I don't get to have all this free time
Charles
to watch
Adamson
soccer
says
and
them-
cartoons.
The invisible pumps were gone by the time I can first remember, about 1961. I do remember 19 cents a gallon though. Cal says Bad Batch is good. Love the third season. I watched the first season. I need to probably rewatch it and then jump back in. I started the second season. Matt Skitch says he loved it. Great. I love Rogue One. Rogue One's fantastic. Sogi Sister says, Matt, about time. I tell you what, I'm so glad Sogi Sister's interviews have been coming across my feed again. Because I love hearing that. It's your Stogie sister. Says I need to catch up. I need to go watch Andor. I watched the first 2 episodes and thought it was stupid, but I've heard episode 3 is where it really gets good. Some people say it's the best spin-off series of all of them. So I need to go watch Andor, especially since I love Rogue One as much as I do, and Cassian Andor is the main character in that movie. A lot of guys are going to cry in a couple weeks when Bad Batch ends. Cal says Andor is really good. I need to check it out. Rogue One is my favorite. I love Rogue One. Rogue One is a really good movie. Really ties up all of the loose ends before the original A New Hope comes, being a movie. So it's really nice to see how they put all that together. Really like that. Carl says it's the best of the live. Cal says it's the best of the live action series. Nasty says, I know, right? Thought about Chief raving it the entire time. Now I get it. Best Star Wars adjacent. I love it. Andor is amazing.
Star Wars series, adjacent.
If not best, then top 2. Agreed, Mac. The last 5 minutes of Rogue One with Vader is pure cinematic masterpiece. Dan Burns with the anti-Bob the Cigar Guy.
I loved Mandalorian. It's just not Star Wars. It's Star Wars adjacent. I enjoyed Mandalorian. I really did.
That's what I've heard, Mac. That's what I've heard. I need to get
and
through.
the Book of Boba Fett. I liked it too.
Yeah, Book of Boba Fett though was just Mandalorian point half.
It was a continuation of it was Mandalorian from a different perspective.
It brought in. I mean, Din Djarin showed up in the middle of the show and then took over basically. Charles Adamson says, in high school, I had a Honda 50, held 3 quarts. Gas was 38 cents at the time. Cost me $0.25 to fill up and lasted me a week.
Boom.
He is old. How much did it cost you to feed the horses for the buggy to travel across the Midwest?
God, dog. What? Look, Steven says he only hates on 2 people. Now we have 3. So see?
He said he was old. I'm
See?
just joining.
No, you said he fueled his vehicles with hay, is what you said, and that's not nice.
His horses. The only issue with Rogue One is they give short to the Bothan spies. I loved it. I like how there are characters from Andor that show up in other series as well, or not Andor, Rogue One, that show up in other series as well, which I thought was great. But I don't know. I think because Andor wasn't a bunch of focused around Jedi, I think that was what it was for me. That and Solo. You didn't have you had one lightsaber show up in Solo, and that was Darth Maul at the very end. So that I liked
Solo.
I would love to see a Crimson Dawn spinoff, which I've heard they're supposed to do. Don't know if they're gonna do, but I'd love to see some Kira and Darth Maul action scenes and her killing people and him chopping people and all that stuff. Republican Debauchery says, I saw Star Wars Episode 1 in theaters.
Boom, my man.
He said Episode 1, not...
No, he's talking about Star Wars.
No, Law's not much older than me.
Star Wars, Return of the Jedi,
No,
Empire Strikes Back. 1, 2, 3.
No.
I don't care what you say. 1, 2, 3. That's it. 1, 2, 3. Everything
Han
else
did shoot first.
is just adjacent.
Acolytes. Han did shoot first. I will go to. I'm truly on on the Han shot first instead of Greedo shooting first, even though they edited it to be shot at the same time. Han shot first. Han's not a good guy. Han's a bad guy.
Han is in the realm of Batman,
A vigilante.
pretty much an
I would say
anti-hero.
I actually, speaking of movies that I just watched, I just watched for the first time the Venom Carnage. Venom.
Oh,
just watched it.
Cletus Cassidy.
Oh man, great movie.
Cletus Cassidy.
Really great movie. And I like at the end of that movie how they bring in Spider-Man into it. So I'm excited.
See, but they didn't talk about how Cletus Cassidy was a child off of Venom, but Venom didn't know that he was carrying children because that alien race did not need conception to have spin-offs and spawns. And so and then they don't talk about where Venom really came from Secret Wars in Marvel. They just dropped the ball on all of that. Good movies though.
Well, a lot of that change came because Marvel sold certain franchises to Sony, and Sony took over and ruined a lot of the series, ruined the X-Men, ruined Spider-Man. Right. And now that Marvel Disney has taken back over and some things like there have been some Marvel Disney stinkers here recently. But I'll tell you what,
they lost $1 billion last year.
The Carnage movie, I liked it a lot. So he says my first movie might have been Gremlins.
Ooh.
Charles Adamson says, "Hey, Law, great video today."
Don't get them wet.
I don't know if I can remember my first movie in a movie theater, but I can remember my first memorable movie theater moment. Is me getting smacked in the back of the head by my father because I laughed when Bobby Boucher told his mommy, "I like Vicky Valancourt. She showed me her boobies, and I like them too." Because we were in that little movie theater in Brevard, and you guys took Caitlin and I to go see The Waterboy at the movie theater. And I laughed so hard at that part as a probably 9-year-old, 8-year-old, 7-year-old kid, and got smacked in the back of the head because I laughed at it.
Not me. I'm a sensitive parent. I parent with kindness and time out and tell me about your feelings.
It says episode 4, New Hope. Episode 5, Empire Strikes Back, a.k.a. Luke kisses his sister.
That is episode 2.
Dan Burns says, my first movie was Swiss Family Robinson.
Wow.
Cal says, The Waterboy was funny. Max says, well-deserved. Shut up. It was funny. I can remember that. And then I can't remember any other movies. I know I watched movies at that movie theater because this is our only movie theater in town. The one movie theater, tiny theater area. But then I can remember, I don't know where Mom went, but you took me and Caitlin over to Hendersonville. And we watched Mean Girls in the theater, and we left halfway through.
I don't remember that.
Shannon and I watched Mean Girls a couple months ago, and we're like, how did we even make it past the first 30 minutes? Oh, horny Bob at 30 years old.
I don't remember that movie. I don't remember taking y'all.
Sure you don't. Cal says episode 2 is Attack of the Clones.
No. Dan
Burns says Mama said girls on the devil. Law Chief was the target audience for Adam Sandler back then. I watched Billy Madison a couple days ago. I tell you what, if I would have been as old as I am now back then, I don't think I ever would have watched another Adam Sandler movie ever again. The first 20 minutes of that movie with Adam Sandler, he's doing that stupid voice he does, and it is so irritating. He is so childish. He's so dumb. I understand he's playing a character and whatnot.
Isn't that one where he pretended like he peed on himself?
He might have peed on himself.
Or was that big
no,
guy?
Yeah, he did. At the bus, because the other kid peed on himself. But at first, he's drunk. He's in the pool. He's squirting the sunscreen on him in a smiley face, and he's got to go meet his dad. He's chasing around the invisible penguin. It's such a dumb movie. It is such a dumb movie. I'm glad the character arc of Adam Sandler as a person definitely changed.
Have you ever seen the movie The Cobbler?
Oh, yeah. I love that movie.
That is not a funny movie. That is an
That
amazing
is a funny movie.
It's not funny. It's amazing.
It's not a comedy,
right.
but when he gets I think it's Woody Harrelson, is the crossdresser.
No, that was an amazing movie. That was
a good movie.
I
That's
was
a really
amazed
good movie.
with that movie.
That was really. Spanglish is a great movie.
It is a great movie.
That's a non-comedy.
There's a lot of comedy in that movie. Almost
I was
a
not a
rom-com.
fan of Uncut Gems.
Never seen it.
Not a great movie. He's a jeweler and a gambler. It's not
Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore's a great movie. That's a comedy. There's another movie where he's a basketball agent.
Never saw it. That went straight to Netflix or whatever.
It's recent, but it's good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
I don't watch much of that straight to Netflix stuff.
Supreme Tobacco says Veronica Vaughn though. Cal says anger management is the best. I like anger management, but I am not a big. What's the other actor's name?
Jack Nicholson.
I'm not a Jack Nicholson fan.
Oh, I am.
I'm not. I like him in The Bucket List, but I love
Great
Morgan
movie,
Freeman.
Bucket List.
I love Morgan Freeman. One of my all-time favorite movies is Shawshank Redemption.
Have you ever watched One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
No, I've not. I know that's an early one. I've not watched
Easy Rider?
the full movie of The Shining either.
You have not watched The Shining fully? Oh, man. Great movie. It ends. It's chilling.
Along Came Polly. I think I've seen parts of that.
Then there was 51st Dates. Great movie. Blended.
Fantastic movie.
Blended.
My wife hates that I love 51st Dates as much as I do. Anytime it's on TV, we watch it.
Blended is a good movie.
I haven't watched Blended. Bedtime Stories was all right. And there's another one. There's a couple movies on Netflix with him and what's her name from Friends, where they're spies, basically. Not a bad movie, or a set of movies. Pretty good. Charles Adamson's putting Russian links in the chat. Dan Burns, Just Go is also a good movie. Cal O'Doul rules. Republic of Debauchery, The Wayne
You
Fu,
just made every last one of us dumber.
Yeah. So your sister Shawshank is awesome. It is. Love Shawshank.
Love Shawshank.
51st Dates is great. It is. Fantastic movie. Really, really love that movie. That's got what's his name? Who plays his buddy with who gets bit by the shark? What's his name?
Yeah.
Rob Schneider.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I love a lot of the actors that Adam Sandler has brought alongside of him.
He's very, very, very focused on that. He said, if I ever get big, I'm bringing everybody else with me, and he has.
And he's got
Old
a lot.
school, what is it? What was it? Old school? The ones where they were older, and they took the kid. Rob Schneider was in it, and the rest
That's
of
not
them were in
old
it.
school. That's I know what you're talking about though.
There are two of them.
Yeah, Grown Ups.
Grown Ups. Those are
Yeah.
great movies.
Those are good movies. I love Kevin James. Kevin James, great. Paul Blart Mall Cop.
Fantastic.
Here Comes the Boom. My kids love Here Comes the
Shaq
Boom.
did a great job in that movie.
Yeah, he's funny. David Spade.
David
Love
Spade was hilarious.
I tell you one, a movie that's not appropriate for kids, but it's a movie. I think it's on Netflix, or it was on Netflix, called The Wrong Missy. That's a hilarious movie. Not a family friendly movie at all. Big Daddy, love Big Daddy. Easy Rider does not age well. Jay Bates, another one with his irritating voice is Little Nicky. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of Little
never
Nicky.
watched it. I watched a little bit and cut it
Eight
off.
Crazy Nights is okay.
It's a cartoon though.
Cal, Samwise Gamgee as Juicer in 51st Dates. Yes. The brother. He's like, ooh. How you like these?
I have nocturnal emissions. Stay off the juice.
Not a Russian link. I was proving the episode 4 thing. Don't make me dig up
No,
my VHS.
it is not episode 4. It is 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, Murder
That's
Mystery. Yeah, Murder Mystery. That's the one with him and Jennifer Aniston. The 2 movies. They're pretty good.
Mr. Deeds.
Little Nicky. Mr. Deeds is good.
I'd like to change your socks.
Yeah. How about $1 million?
Okay.
Another actor that is along the ride with Adam Sandler is Steve Buscemi. I like Steve Buscemi a lot. I like his.
I know the
even
name.
though Steve Buscemi, Con Air, he's the guy that's masked up.
Oh,
And
yeah.
in Mr.
Yeah.
Deeds, he's got the crazy eyes.
Crazy eyes.
Yeah.
He was in some mob movies too.
I don't know a lot of mob movies. That's one thing I've not watched a lot. Are the mob movies? The mob movies I've watched, I'm good with for the most part. Excuse me, for the most part. But mob movies not a genre that I've really spent a lot of time in. Reservoir Dogs. Have I seen Reservoir Dogs? Let me look at it real quick.
That had what's his name from? Oh my gosh!
I'm not seen Reservoir.
He was Ghost Rider.
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage.
Is he?
Now, what is it? Something of War. With Nicolas
Dog
Cage.
of War.
Dog of War. That's a good movie.
Is it Dog of War or God of War? It might be Dog.
That's a good movie.
I'm sure somebody will get it before I finally find it because he's in a lot of movies apparently. Jeez, I've got a Nicolas Cage is great. Gone in 60 Seconds.
He's one dimensional though. He's got that expression in his voice. He does.
I liked him in Con Air. He was a different kind of.
I liked him in National Treasure. I mean, I like his movies.
Lord of War.
I like his movies. It's just he's just one dimensional. It's kind of like Sylvester Stallone is one dimensional. I mean, they're good.
Yeah, most everything Sylvester does, his face is.
I mean, The Expendables was great. I want to watch the new Rambo one where he's old and he's running through the tunnels. I've seen bits and pieces, but I'd like to see the whole movie.
I tried to watch the original Rambo, and it's just slow.
You got to remember that's a whole different time. They used to tell stories, and at the end of the story, you got the full picture. It had to build up. Now, with today's attention span, you have to hit them with the punchline before you tell a joke. You have to hit them with the crescendo before they get into it.
No,
it's true.
No,
it's true.
No,
it's true.
No, I disagree. I think you're right. That era of movies is a different era of movies. It's just, if you're a Rambo fan, you're not going to talk trash on Rambo. It's like if you're a Star Wars fan, you're not going to talk about the bad stuff of Star Wars, right? Because you feel like you're going against your childhood or whatever. Like, you can equally trash, just like cigars, right? I don't like either of the blackened cigars. I'm very vocal about that. Like, I think Drew Estate missed.
I like the shade of black.
I think Drew Estate missed on both of those cigars. I think the blackened cigars, I wouldn't say trash. They're just not for me. And so it's like, it's being non-biased. Like, there are parts of, you've got to compartmentalize that. Like, oh, you can talk bad about Rambo and still think that Rambo was the coolest part of your childhood growing up in a movie.
Rambo 2 and 3 were better than 1.
But 1 is just so slow.
But you couldn't have, but it was a story. Vietnam
veteran coming into town, and he can't talk to the cops because he hates authority, and then he runs into the woods and he's killing guys, and then it's like, that's all it is.
No, he tried to stop 100 times. He just kept pushing him.
No,
it just
tried
kept
to stop
pushing
him, and he wouldn't talk to him. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to tell you. But why you're bothering me, man?
It was all about respect. When he pulled up in the car, and he goes, "Hey, where you going?" He says, "I'm just going to this town to get something to eat." And he goes, "Well, get in the car. I'll take you somewhere else. You don't belong here."
Right.
And it's about, I'm not going to be treated with disrespect. And every time he met aggression with aggression. He didn't amp up. He didn't amp up. They attacked him first, and then he attacked back, and they attacked him more, and they sent everything else, and so we had to attack back. And even though some of the officers that didn't give him a hard time, he had a chance to kill them, and he let them go.
I don't know. I think it's probably the other. That's a movie where the sequels are better than the original.
I would agree.
Because a lot of times you get into situations where sequels are just not worth it.
I just wanted Rambo's magazines because he could shoot 780 times out of one magazine and hit everybody every time.
Yeah.
And I tried to lay myself in a wall of mud playing around, and you don't hide.
Mac Berkson, I'm kicking you square in your shin next time I see you. I'm just letting you know that. Stallone and Tulsa King, his new TV show.
I like that cigars.
Show. I haven't watched. I've seen some bits and pieces. Like
I've seen the first. Me and Sarah are watching that. We quit because we got busy, but
I know that's an Apple TV show.
it's a good show. It's a decent show.
I'm not the biggest Stallone fan. Rambo's great. The Expendable stuff is great. Rocky, love Rocky. Rest in peace, Carl Weathers. Also, by the way, not rest in peace, but OJ died today.
You're talking about movies, and a movie that, for whatever reason, keeps coming to my mind is thank God they didn't do a sequel to it. Maximum Overdrive. I love that movie.
Yeah, I think I like that movie more as a kid than I do as an adult.
I could watch that thing 100 times.
Yeah,
I really enjoy that movie.
I think for you, it's probably a nostalgia thing.
That and Tremors. I like
think,
Tremors.
Because honestly, Maximum Overdrive is slow. How do we get into the gas station? How do we get out through the culvert? To get out and the
getting to the boat was not a big deal.
They're just circling. It's like, okay, wait till they run out of gas. Just let them all run out of gas. Don't go out there. Let them all run out of gas, and then you're fine.
Yeah, then they drive into the middle of the thing until they crush everybody. They start doing that when they didn't get gas.
So sit in the middle of the building. You can't crush the whole building.
Why not? They get cranes and dozers to show up.
They'd all be out of gas and diesel by then too. It's just like every zombie movie too. It's like, wait them out.
See, I've never watched an episode of Walking Dead.
Yeah, but that's
Not
the thing.
one.
That's the thing is you have to suspend reality. That's what it's called, a suspending reality, right? You've got to suspend reality with 100% marksmanship. You've got to suspend reality with, and you've got plot armor, right? Obviously, the stormtroopers aren't going to shoot Luke in his butt when he's turned around backwards because Luke's going to carry the franchise. The stormtroopers have got to miss, right? Obviously, stormtroopers can shoot all the guys, no problem, who don't have any lines in the movie, but as soon as it comes to somebody who's the main character,
like the red shirt people on the away team in Star Trek.
So it's you have to suspend reality when it comes to that stuff. But you look back and it's like, why did George Lucas release episodes 4, 5, and 6 first? Well, it was a lot of the understandable knowledge is like he just didn't have the technology to do episodes 1, 2, and 3 like he wanted to be able to cinematically
we were always
show.
When it came out, when they said there were prequels, they said that because the Star Wars Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi were the ones that were going to make the money and make people want to watch the rest of the movies. Because it was a long time between the last Star Wars Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, when that last third was over.
Yeah, because
it took a long time till we got to the next one.
Early 80s when episode 5 hit, and then the late 90s when episode 1 hit. Yeah, it's a huge time difference. And then you had a sizable gap between episode 3 and episode 6.
And then it just vomited.
Well, then you got a lot out at one time. Because now it's easier to make movies. It's easier. But they're in today's, instead of relying on puppets and masks and sets and whatnot, now you can digitally render it all. It's like if you look at the original, look at the orcs from Lord of the Rings in the first 3 movies versus when they released The Hobbit in the late 2010s, early 2020s, and all of the orcs and the sets and all that stuff are digitally rendered. There's not as much depth to those as there is looking at, the orcs that were in 2001. Look at Yoda in 2003 versus Yoda in 1979.
Well, it had to be
a puppet Yoda, and now you've got a keyframe Yoda.
It had to be a huge cost saving because in the first 3, you had to send a film crew and all your actors and all your support staff to all those planets, right? And so they had to go to all those planets. And they had to set up lighting and had to deal with all that atmosphere stuff. And now you can just green screen everything.
Yeah, I'm going to those planets, idiot. Let's see. If he really knew what he was doing for all 9 movies, he would really have had Leia kiss Luke in New Hope, or just not kiss him at all.
One of the greatest lines. I love you.
I know.
That's Han in a nutshell.
I mean, the Han. It's kind of like watching. We're talking about Venom. Like we're watching Venom in these 2 most recent movies as an anti-hero,
A vigilante.
I would say more anti-hero than vigilante.
The
But
A-team.
vigilante works. But Venom in like when they brought Venom against Tobey Maguire in the mid 2000s or in the comic books, like Venom's a nasty dude. Venom's never been like there's never been some sort of Venom that's like, oh yeah, this is a great guy. Like now you got Venom is like, oh well, we can only eat the heads of bad guys. Or we can only do it's like it's a different kind of Venom. So you like with Han Solo. Han Solo is this like super self-centered jerk who has a couple nice moments where he does stuff for the team in the original Star Wars movies, but then you get the whole entire Solo movie, and it's like, oh, this is a completely different dude. It would be cool to see like
He still had a lot of swagger.
Sure,
he was still a dastardly deed, but
Dan Burns says, is that a Southern thing? What, kissing sisters? I mean, maybe at some point. At least we pump our own gas. Cal Urba says Venom used to be a villain and later on in the comics became a hero.
Yes, he did, but that was very, very far at the end. He became a hero to the people that lived in the subterranean areas, and he became their guardian, their protector. But when it first started, Venom just hung out with Spider-Man because he adopted the costume on Secret Wars. And then Spider-Man figured out that he had to get rid of this thing, and he used Sonics to get rid of him. And when he left, Peter Parker had just busted a guy for plagiarizing a bunch of stuff, and that guy got fired from the Daily Planet or whatever. And so he was walking the streets all mad at Peter Parker and Eddie Brock, and Venom was mad at Spider-Man. He was crawling around, and those two got together, and so he knew who Spider-Man was, and he also didn't set off Spider-Man's spider sense, and so they became the best. The way Spider-Man defeated them in the beginning is he pretended that he died in an explosion and left his spider suit on the ground, tore up, and Eddie Brock said, my life is done now. They went and lived on an island for a very long period of time, just feeling happy and footloose and fancy free until they came back and they found out that he wasn't dead.
There you go. Venom galore on Cheat Talk. You didn't sign up for that tonight. Paid for admission and got a little bit of
Don't get me on Cletus Cassidy, because I will go deep on Cletus Cassidy, which is
I liked how they did Carnage. Carnage as a kid growing up was my favorite villain. I liked Carnage a lot. Didn't know much about Carnage other than he was just Batman Jim.
He could throw his blades.
But he could use his body to turn into knives or
and he could sling them.
And he was just bad. He was just a bad man.
And he didn't care. He just wanted to be an agent of chaos.
So he was my favorite villain for the longest time.
He was a great villain.
But
he was an abused foster child.
But here to finish off the Marvel talk, we are going to end the show here. I know it's a little bit early, right here at just about 10 o'clock. We're going to let you guys go. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for letting me know what you would have grabbed at the PCA Supermarket Sweep. Maybe next time we do this, we'll give you guys more than 2 minutes and we'll take out the blackened truck, because I think that kind of cheated a little bit.
Kind of took it over.
Once we thought about that, it's like, well, now we can. It's like, shoot, just spend all your energy getting to the blackened truck.
Even if you just got the truck,
all right.
Hopefully it's got gas.
But no, thank you. Yeah, right. Just pour a little bit of that blackened in there. I'm sure it runs off a bit.
High test.
Brian, Cal, Dan Burns, Gary Zanstra, Charles Adamson, everybody else who was watching this evening, thank you all for hanging with us. We got up to 29 tonight, so we didn't hit 30 for a third or fourth consecutive week, but we did smash 20 out of the park for the 14th consecutive Chief Talk. So next week, we hope to continue doing the same.
Sweet 15.
Well, yeah, Sweet 15. Yeah, we gotta make sure we hit at least 16, right? No, I'm hoping all 47 or 48 episodes this year. Hopefully we can
all 12 months. We'll just say that.
Yeah.
Calendar year.
Cal's saying hit the like button. Yeah, if you guys haven't hit the like button, please do.
It helps the analytics.
Eric Orta, thanks for hitting the like button over on Facebook. We had 10 interactions over there, plus a ton of people who were watching and commenting over there. Appreciate that. With the videos that are dropping every day from PCA, just give them a gander. This yesterday with Saka is one of two 40-minute interviews. The next one will be the very last one, so you don't have to worry about hitting a 40-minute spot where you got to sit and watch 40 minutes. If you haven't watched them, definitely go back and watch. We've dropped J.C. Newman. We've dropped Leffen Lams. We have done BAMF cigars. We've done Dumbarton Tobacco and Trust.
Outstanding.
We did Pastani just the other day as well.
And if you jump on when it drops in the premiere, you can actually get in the chat and we can chat back and forth, which is kind of a fun thing to do as well.
Yeah, Bob's going to be there. He's going to be at the Ice Cream Social. He's already got his tickets booked and everything. So,
I do have my tickets booked. I'm serious. But
no, yeah, definitely go ahead and check those out. Also, if you want to see some extra stuff from PCA, run over to ChevetteReport.com. There are pictures of the JC Newman one was the best one that actually got pictures of like the actual booth. We also dropped Casa 1910. But I got a lot of pictures of other cigars that we didn't talk about during the interviews. There's just a bunch of cool inside sneaky peek stuff. There's also some links to those websites, links to where you can purchase things and whatnot. Also, do want to give a big shout out to our other Chief Talk sponsor, Zycar. If you go to zycar.com here at tax time, if you got your tax money back and you want to go spend a little money on some cutters, some lighters, some travel humidors, if you go to zycar.com, when you check out, you put in a checkout code Chief Talk, all one word and capitalized, gets 15% off your total price. So if you spend $100, you only won't spend
shabby.
$85. So you can save yourself pretty much all your tax and your shipping if you use code Chief Talk. Thank you all for hanging out with us. Stream to access taxation is deft. Thanks all for hanging out with us. We appreciate you guys getting us over 20 again. Like I said, 14 Chief Talks in a row. We're gonna jump out of here. Let me play one of these Drew Estate videos I've made last year. We love y'all. See you next week. Peace. Time to relax. Whew. Man, I'm beat. Whew. What are you doing? What are you doing here? Show's over. Go home. Go home. Show's over. What are you waiting for? You waiting for another show? This is a one-ticket entry. Go. Bye. Go. Go.